from the High Court is expected in June, right in the middle of the presidential election battle. The decision could have a major impact on both President Obama and his GOP rivals, who have pledged to repeal the law.
With the light from above. We love you, Ken. God bless you. From the mountains to the prairies, crossing the street. The mountains, right America, my home, sweet.
Can you tell me why you're supporting Obamacare?
Because I think that some health care is better than no health care, and that's the choice for a lot of people. I knew a lot of construction workers who had no health care, and one guy, his wife died of lupus, and he fell off the roof, and he couldn't really afford to work, and he was so far in debt, you know, he could never pay off the hospital.
So you believe it all can be fixed through government-run, government-mandated care?
I think that we have to have some kind of insurance for a lot of people, because a lot of people, even though they work, can't afford health care. And I think some health care is better than no health care. Canada has national health care, and they have a short growing season and can't raise much in the way of crops. So if they can afford it, we can afford it. So that's my opinion.
Right. So you're comfortable with the government forcing insurance companies and individuals to have policies with these companies?
Unfortunately, because it's like Social Security. It's like when Roosevelt started Social Security, it's kind of the same thing, that when if people get injured or when they get old, then they'll have something just in case their retirement investments fail.
Where is that money that everybody paid into Social Security?
Well, a lot of it is kept with the government, and hopefully
it's in a lockbox.
It's in a lot. Some of it's in a lockbox.
Some of it.
Yeah. Hopefully, the Congress can't get their hands on all of it, but they
haven't gotten their hands on it.
They're gradually refunding Social Security. They've been putting money.
They're refunding it.
Hopefully.
Where'd you get that information that they're refunding Social Security?
Has what's called certain taxes can only go towards certain things. So Social Security taxes. Now, if they dipped into it to pay for the war, that's something else. But certain taxes, federal taxes, only go for certain programs. So the Social Security taxes are only supposed to go to the retirement system originally. Now, if
so all that money paid in, that went into a lockbox and is still there?
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be still there.
Supposed to be?
Right.
That means it is still there when you say supposed to be?
I don't promise you that they didn't use it for something else, Congress. You know, they changed the original rule book. The original rule book was to keep that money for people's retirements and Social Security.
Isn't the truth that they've spent it all, and the Social Security is paid for through the current funds the Social Security retarees are paying in? I mean, that the future retarees are paying for.
To a certain extent, it's always going to be that way. The young people are going to have to be paying for the retirement of the older people. But hopefully they're not. In the past couple of years, they've stopped rating that fund. Now, I don't know if it's like
they've stopped rating the fund.
Yeah. I heard some information that at one time they were rating it, but I don't know if they are now. I heard they were paying it back, but I haven't had time to find out about it. I haven't time.
Are you sure you've really heard correctly?
Well, originally the idea was the money of certain taxes only goes for certain federal programs. And so the money that, when you pay your Social Security tax, is different than your federal income tax. And it's supposed to go into the Social Security fund that goes for people's retirement. I mean, this is a very similar question to what Roosevelt had. And Roosevelt, it was found constitutional, Roosevelt's idea, to have people paying Social Security.
So socialism and fascism is totally constitutional?
Well, you have to have some government. For instance, even China needs the Food and Drug Administration because they had some problems with their products coming over here. Some of them weren't quite wholesome, you know what I mean? And I guess the Food and Drug Administration is a government organization. Sometimes you need a little communism, even to maintain capitalism.
A little bit of communism?
Yes, you do. Theodore Roosevelt broke up monopolies.
Roosevelt broke up the monopolies?
Yes, the railroads. He was a war hero. And he said if all these companies get together to form a huge monopoly, like Microsoft, and then there'll be no competition, prices will be high, and it'll gradually wreck our economy. So, I mean...
if it wasn't for the government breaking up the monopolies, prices wouldn't be high?
Well, they still have companies. Most people...
Aren't prices going up every day?
Oh, true. That's true. It could be because
I thought the government fixed that.
No, it could be because overpopulation.
Overpopulation is making the price of everything go up.
The president only had 2 kids, you know.
Have you ever heard of the Federal Reserve?
Yes, I don't quite understand economics. It's not
okay.
field, but
they don't. Federal Reserve hasn't printed trillions of dollars, have they?
Oh, I would know, but let's face it.
Is that how we're going to pay for Obamacare?
I would not necessarily. Well, we ultimately have to produce food and shelter, pay for stuff. But a lot of people don't have any health care, and some health care is better than no health care. It's like Social Security under Roosevelt. And I think
so if we take from enough people, give it to the other portion of the people, everything will be okay. We'll just have the Federal Reserve print up the money.
I think that people should be entitled. I think life is unfair. I think nature is cruel, and that we should provide some health care. After all, Canada has national health care, and they have a short growing season. They can't raise much food. How do they do it? I think it's just like Roosevelt's Social Security. If someone gets injured on the job, then the government will provide for them a disability income because they're no longer able to work.
So you're totally comfortable with taking from some, give it to the other portion of the people?
To someone in a wheelchair, you bet. People who deserve health care. And I think that, most people are afraid to go to the doctor. I think most people deserve health care. I mean, if you live on the streets, that's an incentive enough to get a job. There's a freezing out there. I think that just like Social Security income, if someone gets injured on the job and they can't work on Social Security under Franklin Delano Roosevelt, then the government should provide some disability income because they can no longer work if they're in a wheelchair.
My dad's never been.
That was the idea, and I think that.
So people's rights are totally irrelevant. People's rights, and the people don't have any rights. The government can do whatever is necessary.
To provide
whatever Congress decides is necessary. They simply take from whoever to give it
from able people, and they give it to people who wheelchairs.
And who decides who's able?
A doctor or something.
A doctor, yeah.
Because they're considered the experts in medical.
Right, the SSI.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about SSI, where people who want to get certified as disabled, they do their doctor shopping, and they find a doctor who's going to certify them as disabled.
Well, actually,
why don't we all do our doctor shopping, get ourselves certified as disabled?
Well, I said I don't
we can all sit back.
And they gave it to
we can
me
all sit back. What's that?
I volunteer for free. I was considered disabled, but I volunteer at the animal shelter. A really safe job.
You're on SSI?
Yeah, SSDI. And I said, I don't need Social Security disability, and they gave it to me anyway. But I volunteer a lot. I was judged 100% mentally ill, like at animal shelters, safe places.
How are you disabled?
I was 100% mentally ill, schizophrenic. I had the easiest job in the world, and I walked off from it. And I just flipped out. It was a fun job. I used to work like 12, 15 hours a day.
You're not recovered now?
I'm not considered recovered.
Because they say you're not recovered?
So that's recovered.
You seem to be having a pretty sane conversation with me right now.
Well, thank you. I did volunteer work this morning at the animal shelter, but you know, I think that most of these people are people like construction workers. Like,
but aren't you an example of the system not working properly? You're perfectly sane. You could be working, doing something, but Congress is forcing everybody to send you a check.
I try to volunteer. I don't know what else I can do except work and volunteer. In an animal shelter, let me tell you, at our animal shelter, a lady was pinned to the back of a cage and bitten repeatedly by a dog. Most people say they have a more dangerous job than that, and than to be in the back of a cage, pinned in the back of a cage and bitten repeatedly. They're always pinned. It's not that.
Social Security Administration never asked you to come back in for an interview?
Sure.
And to say that you don't need your benefits anymore?
No, I never said that to me.
So it's just fine just to continue like that forever? For everybody else to pay for your care?
Well, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I'm filming for Free Media Live.
Well, Monday. I mean, I thought you'd be at work Monday. But we're talking about people who are construction workers. This is national health care. And I knew one construction worker. His wife died of lupus, and he fell off a roof working. And plus, you have to remember that I've called into stores, many stores, and asked to work for free, absolutely free. And they said you can't work for free.
No, they're not allowed to work for free in a regular store.
That's corporations that said you cannot work for free.
If you apply for a job with one of those stores,
I offer to work for free. And corporations wouldn't let me work for free.
Well, that's not. They can't let you work for free.
Why not?
Why?
Work is work.
Yeah, legally they can't do that. You have to be paid. A company can't let people come in and work. A for-profit company can't let you come in and work for free. It has to be under some kind of program. Whatever. It has to be under some legal program.
But I think that this would apply to most people who are. Like, I knew a bunch of construction workers, and one guy's wife died of lupus, he fell off a roof, he had no insurance. And I think if Canada can afford national health care, then we can too, because they have short currencies in Canada. A lot of this has to do with physical health anyway. And he's hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt, because his wife had died of lupus in the mid-30s. She was like 30-something years old. She fell off the roof.
You're not aware that this country is bankrupt already?
Yeah, but if a person cannot work because he fell off the roof, or a person's in a wheelchair or injured, then you have to provide for those people.
So just print more money to fix everything?
Well, I mean, you know, I think the part of the problem is we're overpopulated. We're running out of resources. And that's part of it. I think that we have to provide for our handicapped people whether we like it or not. And that's sad. I think we're still pretty rich, and I think we can provide. Canada provides for their people. You know, they have a short growing season. They have national.
Slavery works?
Huh?
Slavery works?
Slavery works. I've talked with people from Canada. They never said they were enslaved.
Enslaved part of the population to pay for the other part of the population?
Well, when you have badly handicapped people like a construction workers falling off a roof and no longer work, you sort of have to provide health care for these people. That's only fair.
Thank you.
And